second attempt because the focus sucked on the first one. Oi. So this video is about the SIGI Was mache ich? So this video is about the SIGI prints. For full transparency, no, not there yet. That's good. The way I got the sword was as follows. I ordered the SIGI prints because it looked interesting to me and I was very curious about the sword. Around 2 days later, Martin slid in my DMs. Of course, the first question I asked was, how does your ass not burn from running down that slide? And then he countered,
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
And it was not his hot ass. So, anyway, as the bargaining man that I was, I suspected what was coming up. I'm gonna give him a hard time. Started out with, we can send you the king if you make a video. Yes! Fuck! Ordered it and was planning on purchasing it, but SIGI said, if you make a video about it, you can have it. I'm still gonna give my honest opinion on the sword. Let's start with some hard facts. Pause. The sword here is the SIGI King Light, or you could say the SIGI Prince. I prefer calling it the Prince, I guess, because it feels like its own thing. But it is built on the Light model line, so everything is like kind of replaceable and interchangeable between these. I guess I understand why it's called a King Light. Also, it's in this Schweder.
I have a
Schwert.
I have
Feder.
Schweder territory, which the kings are. I like calling it the prince. So, stats. My model weighs 1430 grams, which is 3.15 freedom units. Overall length of this is 129 centimeters, which is 15.79 eagles, and the blade makes up 98.5 centimeters of that. So the hilt is 129 centimeters minus 98.5 centimeters. And I'm not gonna calculate that now. The point of balance is at 7.5 centimeters in this case. On their website they say it's 7 centimeters, this one has 7.5. There's some irregularity that comes with changing the pommel, for example. Easily flexes at 10 kilograms of weight. Oh my, that was my thumb. Fuck. So anyway, if I place 10 kilograms on this, easily. I'm not pushing down or anything. Maybe it's... yeah. It's only 10 kilograms. The forward rotational node is at the tip, where it should be. The price for this in general depends on where you live. For me in Germany, that means it's taxes coming with it, and in Germany it's basically 500 euros. Aesthetics wise, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. It really scratches that itch if you want to fence with a sword and not with a feather, if you know what I mean. And the double fuller that runs down like 2/3 of the blade, it looks really nice. When I think about how a sword looks, the first thing that comes to my mind. And shooting with it was also really nice, because the double fuller, like, they catch light in really interesting ways, so dope as fuck. Of course, you have the SIGI finish, so it's like really polished, and because of the double fuller, you don't have a not aligned smith mark on the blade. It probably has reasons why they never align. I'm sorry. It's just something I noticed. I shouldn't tell you too much about durability, to be honest. I only have it for a month, but just one thing. Because it is a SIGI Light lineup sword, I was, concerned if it holds up against normal swords, or normal feathers, so to speak. I don't waste a second thought about that at all. Don't do that, because it just holds up super good. Like, it's not a point. Like the regular lights, SIGI basically encourages you to buy 2 lights and only use them against each other. I still know a lot of people that use the regular lights against all the feathers out there, and they haven't broken so far, so you can basically do that as well, I guess. I don't waste a second thought about this not holding up against other swords. I suspect it's gonna hold up like your regular as SIGI. Probably good durability. But like, I only have it for a month. Handling wise, I really like the sword. I think it's a really good length, being a bit shorter than your standard feather. I mean, it's just 1.5 centimeters in the blade, which is not a lot.
Oh no, man, that's huge!
And then you have quite some centimeters less in the handle. In my opinion, makes it a bit more important that you have very tight-fitting forearms, so you can actually do these kinds of things. But if you have that, I really like this length actually. I gave the sword to quite some people, and overall everyone basically enjoyed it, except for one person, and that's my co-instructor. He said, and that's where we get to the point of balance of the sword, he found the point of balance being so far out was a bit irritating. Now the point of balance with this one is at 7.5 centimeters, but because it's overall very light, in my opinion, you kind of notice, of course, that you have more in the blade. And it's not as close to the cross. This is a deliberate choice, and I really think it pays off and is a good compromise, because sometimes just direct attacks still push through a parry. Usually when you have a light sword, you don't push through parries that well, but with this one I feel like I can still do it, and I really like that, and I don't feel like I compromise a lot on speed and agility for that. He said he noticed, certainly, so maybe keep that in mind. I tended to fence very parry riposte heavy. What I did notice kind of, my structure was a bit bad. Blows certainly went through a bit better, like through my parries, especially like crosswise. They went through because simply this is a lighter sword. If you're up against a heavier sword, sometimes it's gonna blow through. I'm just very aware of the blade. I think it's a good compromise with the point of balance. But let's get to the one critique point I have, which is not big, but it's about the grip. This is a general thing with SIGI swords, all SIGIs though, which is the grip. I think they are a bit mid. If you use them without any gloves, they are gonna feel great, but if you have heavy gloves on, I feel like they are a bit on the slippery side. I wouldn't say directly slippery, but especially if they are new, then they have this very polished finish. I just prefer a very rough grip, which is why I rewrap all my swords at some point with some very rough cord. And while I'm at it, I usually grind down these sides here to make it more rectangular, which I feel like helps me index and keep control of the blade just a bit more. Basically with this one, I sanded down the epoxy a bit to have some rougher finish here. Usually that happens anyway when you use it, but I just sped up the process doing it. It's an okay grip, but I prefer like really coarse wrapping. I think this is probably the safest sword that I have used so far. And I mean, I put 10 kilograms onto it, you saw it was not a problem, and I don't feel like this is flopping around at all. Probably a benefit of this double fuller blade geometry, I guess, and I really enjoy it. It still has lots of binding force for its weight, and it doesn't flop around, but it's really flexible. I once shielded someone in their face and the point caught on the mask. That stuff that happens. Instead of the sword snapping back the neck, the sword itself it bent on the mask. The light lineup in general, when you have a point that goes into someone's face, it bends. It doesn't snap the neck back. So in essence, fuller doesn't only look dope as fuck, but also makes it very safe while keeping it good in the bind and doesn't make it floppy. In conclusion, I really like the sword. I don't want to sound like a shill, man. I also really like my standard feather. I'm not sure which one I prefer, to be honest. Just in conclusion, dope sword.